Gracias a Dios por dejarme vivir solo por hoy. Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. My name is Olga Prikhotya. This is Social Talks. And tonight, in the United States, today, we have a very special guest. We have El Rey del Trombón. We have extraordinary personality, El Embajador de la Salsa, the person who is so famous and loved on the whole planet, Mr. Jimmy Bosch. Mr. Jimmy Bosch.
Hello, everybody.
Jimmy, thank you very much for being with us. How are you?
It's my pleasure. I am well. I am alive. And
yeah,
like a good thing these days to be alive.
And Jimmy, you are always smiling, giving people so much positive energy. Thank you very much. And I see something behind you. It's like angel sign, right?
This is my propeller. When we finish the interview, I'm going to fly away.
No, please don't fly. Stay with us. So you look so safe and sound, and I'm very happy that you are healthy, because now if you open the news, everybody is talking about this pandemic. But today we have very interesting topic about salsa music, about your professional career and the projects, your planned projects. So I would like to start our interview. So the first question is, Jimmy, you have performed since 11 years old.
That's right.
And by the age of 13, you were playing in several bands, local bands already. Just want to tell you why you decided to learn to play trombone, and why trombone?
Well, Olga, I think I was born with music in my blood, in my heart, and what can I tell you? By the time I could walk, I was moving to sounds that I heard, and people call it dancing, but I was just moving like a crazy little baby. And I guess when I was 6, 7, I started messing around with instruments that were in the house, like guitar and any kind of percussion instruments, hand instruments, maracas, guiro, pots and pans with spoons, bing. And then at age 9, I played the recorder, in school, and I did a solo in front of the class, and that was very exciting because all my classmates clapped for me, and I said, "Wow, this is fun." And when I was 10, going on 11, I was going to turn 11. Well, in school they offered me an instrument. I asked for saxophone, but they only had trombone. They needed a trombone player. So I said, okay. Then I said, what's a trombone? And I fell in love with the instrument very fast, very fast. I took it home, I put it together, and I started to try to get sound. And within a week, I was already teaching myself how to find notes and how to create a melody on the instrument. And I've been doing that ever since. That was 49 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were born in the United States, but your family is from Puerto Rico, right?
My parents were born in Puerto Rico. My mother and my father met in New York when they were teenagers. And they had 6 children together. And I was fourth born of my father with my mom. And, before me, my older brother, Alberto, played trumpet for a little while. And my older brother, Ruben, played trombone. And while he was playing trombone, I started to play trombone when I was 10 going on 11. And like you said, by the age of 13, people were paying me money to play.
Jimmy, I have already the question. People are joining. Brussels is here, Ukraine is here. So I see already some questions. Where are your parents musicians?
My parents, my father was a clubber. He liked to go to clubs, and he used to get very sharp suit and tie. And my mother used to fight with him all the time because he would go out. But my mother, when she was young in Puerto Rico, she loved to sing boleros of the trios and the quartets, the cuartetos de Puerto Rico. So she was a singer, and she used to escape from her family's house to go sing at her friends' parties and in other friends' houses and homes. So it was very interesting to learn that later on when I got older. My mother told me those stories. So yeah.
When were you, first time you opened salsa music to yourself?
What was the first time? What?
You opened salsa music for yourself.
Oh my goodness. I think when I was born, I heard salsa music.
Yeah, but
before I was born, I heard salsa music.
Okay.
In my mother's stomach, because it's part of my culture. It's part of to play Afro-Caribbean music from Puerto Rico, from Cuba. Many different influences, no? But when I felt the connection, the passion to be a part of that world as a player, as a trombonist,
yeah.
It was very, very, very. As soon as I picked up the trombone at age 11, I started to try to play with records or salsa that I heard on television or on the radio from an LP. So for me, it was very, very early. And by the age of 13, I was already improvising. I don't know. I had this natural ability to play, to create lines. We call them moñas, and improvise, play ideas from my head, from my mind, and produce them on the trombone. So that's what I've been doing all these years.
Yeah, but you've been working for more than 20 years with the famous Mani Okento band, and you worked with so many other famous stars like Ray Barreto, like Fanny All Stars, Eddie Palmieri, Ruben Blades. I don't want to enumerate all of them because it will take a lot of time, and I don't want to forget anybody. But you have this tremendous experience traveling, touring with all these famous artists. Do you remember some most maybe thrilling and memorable experience during these concerts, cooperation with?
Okay, so before I answer this question, I want to say hello to my friends in Kyiv, in Ukraine,
Okay.
From Dislocados and Ivlyev, who I think is one of the greatest piano players in this business today.
Okay.
So that's a shout out for my friend Ilya, because I believe his level of passion and intensity is quite real, and it has impacted even me as a player in my career. So one of the memorable experiences, believe it or not, was with Dislocados.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So why, Olga? Because as I travel around the world, of course, all the bands from New York and all the great bands from Puerto Rico and all these great people that I have been my heroes all along. Peter Conde Rodriguez, Manny Okendo, Eddie Palmieri, Charlie Palmieri, Fanny All-Stars, Ruben Blades, Cachao. I got to play with all of them, and of course, I've had memorable moments and experiences with all of them. But when I started to travel around the world alone to perform with groups of musicians from countries like Ukraine, it was shocking in a good way to play with musicians who were having so much fun playing this music and learning this music, and eager and hungry to learn more and to play with me. I developed a great deal of respect for the musicians there in Kyiv, and thereafter, with musicians from Japan and musicians from France and musicians from, many countries that don't speak Spanish as a first language. So my journey has been very, very fulfilling, very exciting, because I've gotten to play with great musicians from many different countries. And it's been very exciting.
Yeah, actually, we'll stop on this issue also one more time during the conversation and about Dislocados as well, because I also very grateful to Dislocados for 5 years of experience being on the stage, being with professional musicians, salsa musicians, and to have an opportunity to share one stage with you, Maestro.
That's so right. You and I sang at the my songs, huh?
Yeah. So thank you to Dislocados. I evaluated this experience a lot. I think it was really very substantial and very valuable time for me as well. But besides working with different bands, you have your own project. You have your own bands.
Absolutely.
So could you tell us about your bands?
My band is a bunch of guys from New York that just love to play like I love to play. And the format that I offer my band is a platform that has so much room for freedom of expression. So with my band, musicians who work with me, I think really have a lot of fun, because I give everyone room to solo and improvise and interact musically, and we create on the spot. One of the things I never really like to do is play the sound, any song exactly the same every night. That's what we call salsa romantica. That's never been my thing, but I participated in that world as well. So my band is, I think, an exciting band, because all the people that I choose to or invite to play with me are people who just love to play with each other. We make music with each other, and we are committed to entertaining an audience, and it's called fun, passion, love, and respect for the music, for life, and for people who come to see us and pay to come to see us and dance to our music. For me, it's a beautiful thing. I got a good band.
We have already another question. Who has been your main inspiration among the trombone musicians?
My hero on the trombone is Papo Vasquez. Papo Vasquez is my hero, because we got to work together many years with Ivlyev. And Papo is very fluent as a jazz trombonist and also as an Afro-Caribbean music trombonist. And when Papo Vasquez and I played together for so many years, I think we had mutual respect for each other, for what we brought to the party, right? He brings his experience, I bring my experience. And I offered him the highest level of respect, because I could hear and I could feel, I could enjoy all of his ideas that he would create on stage to play. And my response was very quick and very fast. And we developed a chemistry together, which was very, very unique and unlike anything else I have ever experienced with anyone else. And that is not to say that I have not worked with other good trombonists. I have worked with many great trombone players, most of which are better than I am. And so one of the keys to my success is to surround myself with better musicians than me, and work to win their respect for what I do, the way I do it, with heart, soul, and passion and love.
Which other instruments do you play beside trombone? Or maybe you want to learn some other.
A little bit of guitar. I'm actually teaching myself now, because quarantena, quarantine.
Yes.
I've been home.
I know.
I decided to teach myself how to play guitar, so I'm learning how to play guitar a little bit. And of course, I love percussion. I love to play the cowbell and the bongos and congas and a little bit of timbales. And I have been practicing maracas, guiro, and campana, which I just love all the percussion instruments. So I play percussion instruments. Piano, very very little. I just do it for fun or to create melodies or ideas for a song. And same thing with the guitar, just a little bit. And vocals, I practice, of course, but my main instrument is trombone. That's my thing.
Is it true? You have been, correct to say, an artistic director of Marc Anthony in La India.
Yes, I was for a few years, both of them. Yes.
Salsa romántica, but you el embajador de la salsa dura, am I right?
Right. Well, that was during the time when salsa dura took a turn to salsa romántica, because many artists were now recording boleros in the salsa style, but the music format was very different. The platform was completely focused on the vocalist, on the lead singer, and there was no room for improvisation for any of the brass or percussion, and many times not even the rhythm section, piano and bass. And I did that for a few years, and I have a lot of respect for Marc and India and what they have been able to achieve. Obviously, I wish I could achieve the levels of financial independence that they have, especially Marc. And but the music was not satisfying for me. That music was not satisfying for me because I'm a soloist. My passion is improvisation and creating and doing things differently on stage every time I get on stage. So I went back to what I truly love, to keep my band working and maintaining the format that I love. And that's how I launched my first CD, which was Soñando Trombone, with all those tunes, Descargarana, Chacha Gabriel, Otra Oportunidad, all those tunes that were really, when I recorded that record, when that record came out, many people, the true salseros of the hard salsa dura, salsa gorda, they were so happy. They're like, salsa dura's back. Somebody finally did it, because they were sick and tired of salsa romántica, because we don't listen to that music. I mean, that's just me. Nobody, my following does not listen to that music at home for parties. Well, I mean, some people do, I'm sure, but the music I listen to is aggressive salsa, hardcore. It's like, hard rock. I'm a hard salsa kind of guy.
All right. Okay, I don't know how to ask you, but who is your favorite salsa singer? Not about salsa romántica, I'm asking about salsa dura, other salsa styles, maybe timba, I don't know, salsa singer or salsa band.
There are many. Peter, one of my all-time favorite singers. Pete El Conde Rodriguez. Cheo Feliciano, Hector Lavoe, of course, the obvious, Chamaco Ramirez, and the younger guys, Hermano Frankie Vasquez, who we all know, Wilito Otero from Puerto Rico, a young guy who recorded with me a couple of tunes. There are many great singers out there. Soneros. My passion, my love is for soneros, guys who can really sing and improvise and sing off the hip. And I've learned a lot from all of these guys that have worked alongside me, or that I have worked alongside, and now I'm singing and for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe more, and I just love it. It's so much fun to just basically talking to people in front of me when I'm on stage and having a dialogue, but as a singer, it's interesting. And so I have many singers that I have enjoyed working with. Ruben Blades, of course, Tempo Alomal, Pupi Cantor Torres, and the list goes on.
Dear friends who are watching us, first of all, thank you very much. But you can write your questions in the comments, and we will pass them to Mr. Jimmy Bosch. So do not hesitate to do that. They're just watching probably, but with inspiration. So you have 4 albums, and in your albums, sometimes some songs you sing your songs, and
Yes.
you invite different vocalists, and you cooperate with some musicians, famous musicians. How interesting. How do you make up your mind and select who will sing this song, who will play in this music, in this song as well? Just interesting.
Well, I guess it's the time, it's the moment. It's in the beginning, I have, and I still have, a very good relationship with Herman Olivera and Frankie Vasquez. I invited those guys, and I invited Pete Rodriguez to sing one song, La Soledad. I was working with his band around that time, so it was about relationship. People that I already had in my life that I thought fit my format, my platform, my style of music, and it's been a lot of fun. And then I guess over the years, I decided that the singing was really a lot of fun. These guys were having so much fun. I said, I want to do that too. So, so in the beginning, I sang on my record, Padre Soy and Muy Joven Para Mí, but I never performed them live. I let the other guys do it. And then over the last 10 years or so, I guess about 10 years or so, I started singing all of my own material and learning other people's songs, and I just love it. I just love it. And as a composer, whenever my singer was not available or didn't show up to a gig, they were all my songs, so I had to sing them anyway. And that's kind of what has happened. And as I'm continuing to write songs now, I just wrote a song, and it's titled Tano-chan, T-A-N-O, which is my son's name. Recording will be out in a month or so. And this song is about what's happening in life today. My son is in Japan. I'm here. I can't go back to hold him, to see him, to love him. And God forbid, I hope not, but what if I get sick? What if something happens to me? I will never see my son again. So it's a very sad song, but it's very similar to Otra Oportunidad, because Otra Oportunidad talks about...
To your brother, yeah.
Yeah, about my brother, but it's really happy and fun to dance to. So same with this song. It's got a very similar chemistry. Tano-chan is the name of the track.
So we have more questions. Do singers do a lot of improvisations in timba?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. I don't. I leave timba to the professionals who play timba. There are great bands that play timba. One of my favorite bands, who probably was the first to play kind of that timba style, was Los Bambam, and I love them like my family. And that is the style of timba that I really enjoy. And Alex Abreu, right now, he's got an amazing band. He's an amazing composer, amazing singer. When I hear that music, I love, I practice. I love to play and improvise over everything he does with that group. So they're really great timba band, and improvisation is a part of that delivery as well. I'm sure for many of the singers that sing the timba format.
So many of your songs became really top, very famous, top charted, it's in the pop maybe term, but songs that are very popular, famous on salsa congresses, and not only people sing them, know them by heart, learn them by heart. Like you said, Otra Oportunidad, probably all the salseros know this song. So most of them are autobiographic songs. And first question is, how do you find inspiration for the songs? And also, what is your formula of a salsa hit? Salsa song that is going to be very popular. Maybe you have some secret formula how to write?
I don't. Actually, I don't. You know, when I write a song, it's because I'm moved. I'm moved by something that's happening in my life, pain, extreme happiness, something funny, things I witness, happening around me. I write about my life experiences, and I never really think that anything I write is going to be a hit. I hope the songs that I write.
It's a fact.
People
It is a
enjoy.
fact.
Yeah, I mean, I hope people enjoy and identify with my songs and my lyrics because that's, I believe in the power of lyrics and the power of music, right? So when young people from the hood, we call the hood, right? From el barrio, when they hear songs about killing and about beating somebody up and being tough and wearing gold, and young people identify with those lyrics, and that's how it's so easy for them to learn the lyrics and sing those lyrics because they're living that kind of life, right? And my songs about life experience, about my brother who I lost through drugs and alcohol. And so many people in the world also have this kind of experience, Olga. They lose a son, a daughter, a brother, a friend to drug abuse or something like this. And so this song becomes very powerful for them. It becomes a healing song. And at the same time, it's so much energy in the song to dance to. So it's a sad song with a happy feel.
But you also a very great dancer. Let's stop on that point. So we have also a question from Brussels. Who was your first teacher who inspires you among the... Because I know that you are taking classes, you are dancing and performing also as a dancer.
I love it. I love to dance. You're right. So who was my first dance teacher?
Yeah.
Oh my. My first dance teacher. I don't know. I guess I would have to be Brenda Bird, an amazing dancer in New York. And someone that I loved very much. And Brenda Bird was the one who exposed me to Eddie Torres dance school. And I didn't know Eddie really. I knew Eddie because Eddie performed, his dance team performed with Libre when I was working with Año Kendo y Libre. But I never thought to take a dance class with any of these people until I met Brenda. And then I guess after Eddie Torres, I took maybe one class and never did it again. And then years later, I started really hanging out with more and more dancers at salsa congresses, and I started taking classes at the congresses. And in New York, Yamule, Eddie Torres, Ismael Otero. In Japan, so many instructors, Mitsue Yuko Akiba, many dancers, dance instructors. So I've taken classes all over the world, Olga. And just because it's good exercise, and I really enjoy learning the turn patterns and stuff. But I'm an old school dancer. I am not so crazy. I don't do too many crazy things. I just like to really, my 50% of my focus is on the music, and the other 50% is on my dance partner, which I want to enjoy completely by looking at her dancing and turning her a little bit here, a little bit there, and holding her. And it becomes a 4-minute love affair with everyone I dance with.
And dear girls, I had a chance to dance with Mr. Jimmy Bosch on the social floor. He's an amazing dancer. So if you see him at the party, just be sure that you will stay in the turn to dance with him, because he is an amazing social dancer. So
don't be shy. I'm not shy. I like to dance.
Yeah. So I would like to come back to the issue of your traveling with different and cooperation with different bands.
Yeah.
So you traveling all over the world, Europe and Asia. You have cooperation with La Maxima 79, Mercado Negro, Havana de Primera, and Dislocados first Ukrainian salsa band. So, which, I don't know, how many countries did you visit? Do you know?
I think I have traveled to about 80 countries or more, Olga, and many of those countries, of course, I have traveled to many times. So last I counted was about 80, a little over 80 countries.
80. And do you have maybe some dream country to visit? Some country you didn't visit before?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I love to travel. I love to take my music, and I love to entertain people anywhere, everywhere. One person or 100,000 people. So, you know, every new experience is exciting for me. And the places that I have already been to, I always love to go back to again, because the second and third time I visit a country, I now see people that I have met the first time, and now I have friends all over the world. It's very exciting. My life is full of blessings and gifts because of the people that I've met, including yourself and everyone there in Kyiv. So
I would like to stop on with Ukrainian salsa band Dislocados, because you've been to Ukraine, I don't know actually how many times.
4 times.
4 times, okay. You're always welcome, of course. Quarantine now doesn't allow us to travel, but you've been here and performing all the time with Dislocados. How your cooperation started? Interesting. And when first time you were performing with guys?
Oh, with Dislocados?
Sí.
I don't know. They found me. They contacted me, and we worked it out, and they made it possible. They brought me to Kyiv. I don't remember what year it was the first time, but it was very, very cold. I remember that.
First time, I mean, yeah, it was. First time when you were performing. I also don't remember which year. I remember the story. They told this story that it was very cold winter.
Oh my God, it was so cold. And
2009.
We performed in this place that had no heat, and they had to find like 20 heaters all over town to try to warm the place up. It was very interesting, but it was so much fun. Really, really was fun. It was so much fun.
Okay. And you've been into the videos that right now on the screen. We've been performing on this Leopolis Jazz Festival in Lviv. It was beautiful summertime. In Lviv, it was Jazz Festival. I remember that experience. People were dancing right on the street. It was amazing. And you have also a lot of friends here. Yeah. Beside Dislocados, a lot of dancers are your how to say, fans and friends. So we hope we will have summertime, and we have also a secret fan,
Sacha.
So we have a secret friend. He said, if you do not allow me, if you do not switch me to the life, I don't know what I'm gonna do to you guys. So Alejandro Ivlyev is in our studio, conga guy from Dislocados first Ukrainian salsa band. So now you will see him on the screen. Sacha, are you ready? Are you ready?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Hermano, un abrazo.
Un abrazo inmenso. And first that I want to tell, as always, I'm so happy to see you, Jimmy. You know how much I am your #1 fan today and always. And you know how I love to share the stage with you. It was all the times that I had this privilege. It was so amazing. an amazing experience for me and for the whole band. And let me start from greetings from the whole band, from Ilya, from everybody, from, that part of our band, Lacey, she's in Ireland, Carolina, she's in States, but everybody is sending you so much greetings and hugs. And we hope to see you soon and perform some things with you again, man.
Thank you.
This is such a privilege.
Thank you very, very much. I'm really happy to see you, man. Thank you for joining us. Say hello.
And Sacha said he's gonna ask you some private questions. Yes.
Yeah. As I am fan number one, and I was thinking that this music that we do, we dance, and we we listen to is already about 50 years old. Like the music that we call salsa. Yeah. If we don't speak about the roots. And I was always, I wanted to always ask you as a person which lived all those years in this music. You have this privilege too. Which decade do you think for you is the most interesting, the most intrigued, and the most wonderful? Because you know that the music, sometimes we listen to the music of 70s and we know by the groove, by the harmonies, by the sound that is 70s. We know that another music is from 80s or from 90s. So for you, as a musician, as a listener, and as a dancer, of course, which decade of this, among a long period of great time of salsa, do you will prefer?
Well, the music that I absolutely fell in love with was the music of the late 70s and 80s. The New York hardcore salsa bands of that era was what really captured my heart and my desire to be a part of that world. I mean, I was already doing it because I've been listening to these guys from the age of 9, 10, 11 years old. But even today, when I listen to music, I listen to the old music. I don't listen to today's stuff too much. I mean, some of it is interesting, and of course, even my own music, I try to record today in the style of the 70s and the 80s because that is where I live spiritually, and that is where I live my heart, my passion. That is what I love to do. That's what I love to listen to. So, 70s and 80s, that was the era that I love.
That's great. And the next part of the same question is about the future. What do you think we as a musician have to do to give a flow, to keep this flow of salsa, to still make this amazing music popular? Should we go to the roots, like maybe to traditional way, or should we do something, mix this music with something else?
Well,
how do you think?
I never think about mixing too much of anything, The only thing I mix is rice and beans.
Yeah.
But many people are experimenting. My advice to young guys like yourself is to do what your heart tells you to do. Do it your way, because Jimmy Bosch, tu servidor, I do it my way. I don't really care what anybody thinks, honestly. Of course, it is a blessing when people enjoy my music and dance to my music and tell me they identify with songs or cry when they hear my lyrics or something happens that they call magical in their life because of one of my songs or something I record. But at the end of the day, I record the stuff, the music and the songs that I write. I do it with no limitations and no expectations of what anybody else wants me to do or thinks I should do. I really don't care. I don't suffer from those kind of things. I do it my way because I believe that that knowing myself, my inner self, and expressing that through my music is most important. And so I would say to you, do it your way. Do what you believe is your identity as an artist, as a man, as a person, and you cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong.
Thank you so much, man. Well, that was my questions, and again,
Sacha,
thank you so much.
We want you to stay with us, but you have a lot of
Me está botando. Oh man, thank you so much, and again, so much greetings from the whole band, man. We hope to see you soon, and take care, please, because you know, this is a time that we should be careful, but looking forward to the future, okay?
Mira, tengo una nueva canción, Olga, que salió, se llama Cuarentena. Check it out, Jimmy Bosch, Cuarentena. Y la que viene ahora se llama Tano-chan, que es el nombre de mi hijo, y eso habla de la pandemia y lo que estamos sufriendo ahora. Interesante.
Bueno, gracias. Como siempre, un gustazo grande. Nos vemos.
Igual, bye. Thank you.
So I know that Sacha wanted to stay with us forever, but we convinced him that we need to continue. So we have so many, Jimmy, I have so many questions in my list, and I have so many questions from the people. Okay. Do you have time? I would say 2 or 3 more hours. Because people are very active. Thank you very much. I will try to ask as more questions as you write. So some people ask, you were also studying classic music.
Did I study classic music?
Yeah, and yes,
I did. Rutgers University.
Okay.
At the university for 2 years, I studied classical music because the music department was focused on classical music, and I played bass trombone with the ensemble at Rutgers University.
So, and what is the fundamental difference between these types of music, classical, jazz, and salsa? Of course, from your point of view.
Oh my gosh. Jazz is jazz, salsa is salsa.
Okay. All right.
There are musicians who have passion and love for straight jazz and different kinds of jazz music. The only kind of jazz that I enjoy performing myself is Latin jazz, of course. And as a soloist, influence of jazz is in my style of the world of salsa music, Afro-Caribbean music.
Okay, and there is one question: how important is instrument tres in modern salsa music, or this instrument is only song instrument?
Bueno, son montuno requires a tres, absolutely, and I've had the pleasure of working with one of the best treseros in the world, Nelson Gonzalez. You know, the best fit for the tres is son montuno, but you know, I work with Eddie Palmieri, and we travel all over the world, and he always brings Nelson Gonzalez on tres to play hard salsa on the tres. And Típica 73, I believe, used a tres, Nelson Gonzalez as well, Grupo Folclórico. So it's a great instrument if you have someone that can play it correctly and properly, you know. It fits in any music, in any of the rhythms of this music. And but especially someone, of course.
When you travel around the world, do you have any special rider or requirement for the organizers? Maybe some type of juice, I don't know, maybe some color or some I don't know, interior in the room, you know, like pop stars, they have rider.
Don't request, I like to drink Zacapa, a rum from Guatemala. So sometimes I will ask if they can provide that. And many times they do, or Venezuelan rum. Those are my favorites, but not always. And yeah, I'm pretty easy. I'm a pretty easy guy. I don't really ask for much of anything except when I travel to countries that are very, very dangerous and unstable politically, I ask for security to have somebody with me as much as possible, and that's about it. You know, my thing is to show love to the people and do what I do and get out and go back home to my family.
The next question is about your family. You are traveling a lot, so how you try to find the right balance between traveling, your career, and the family, because it's artistic life is full of concerts, traveling, journeys, meetings.
Yeah, I have sacrificed a lot in my life. My family in Japan now, my wife and my son. It's difficult, you know. My son here in New York, Jimmy and Gabriel, they have all their life. I was not available many times for birthday parties or birthdays or holidays, Christmas, New Year's, because I was traveling to make money and perform around the world as an entertainer. It's a sacrifice. But I have always maintained a positive attitude, you know? Positive energy in my thoughts and in my heart. And I know that my family members also have sacrificed a great deal and many times have gone through difficult times without me. So there are moments that I feel sad about that. But I don't regret following my passion and following my calling as an entertainer to perform around the world. It is what I do. It is not who I am, but it is what I do. And my work requires or has required travel around the world pretty extensively. And it is what it is. So no regrets.
So now you're in New York City. It's a quarantine time, and unfortunately, all the people on the planet are not able to travel and to work. And the artistic sphere, big collapse. The same situation is here. Not so many concerts. I would say no concerts.
That's right.
So now I see that a lot of people are going online, interviewing each other, making blogs and making online concerts. What are you doing right now in New York City, being in quarantine time?
Well, I am being interviewed by Olga.
Yes, this is one small part of your nourishing and fruitful day, but in general.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a few interviews. I don't really interview anybody. What I have done is write. I'm focusing on writing and producing new music. Like I told you, like I mentioned a few times, Cuarentena was just released about 1 week ago. With a quartet in Japan. I recorded this with musicians in Japan, and my wife is playing flute and singing on this production as well. And also, this new song that I recorded and wrote, I wrote it literally 2 weeks ago and went into the studio and recorded it from top to bottom. And that I will submit and it'll be ready by the end of or middle of August for a new release. And here's one thing that most people don't know. I work in construction with a company here in New York. So about 4 weeks ago, construction, they started to allow construction to operate again. So sometimes when there is work, I work in construction. I'm a builder, I'm a project manager. And I've been doing that for over 25 years. So there you go. That's a big surprise.
So you're always smiling. You have so many projects. You have so much energy. How do you recharge yourself?
Oh, I wake up at 5 in the morning every day, my whole life. I'm a morning person, and usually I sit down for 1 hour in the morning and I meditate and I give thanks for all that I have and all that I have done, and I ask for guidance and energy and power to continue to create and offer the world my ideas and document my ideas musically. And I'm a happy guy because I choose happiness. You know, I don't like drama. I don't do drama. And I see all the stuff that's happening around us in the world is very, very sad. It's very easy to get caught up and to think negative and to, develop anxiety. And I don't do any of that. I'm a positive thinker. I'm a happy person. For the most part, I have had moments of breakdown, but for the most part, my energy is wake up happy and give thanks and go to bed happy.
But if you mentioned if there is such a moment of breakdown, what is your remedy? How to get over it, come out of it?
Well, I don't like to be in breakdown mode. So, people who get angry, people who get violent, people who get sad, I always tell them when they ask for advice from me, I tell them, well, when you get tired of being sad, choose to be happy. When you get tired of being angry, choose to not be angry. And my thing is to simply choose the positive over the negative. It's the power of choice, Olga. It's the power of choice. We all have the power to choose. There's the negative guy here and the positive guy here. I always talk to this guy, positive guy. The negative guy, sometimes he talks to me. I'm like, go back to sleep. I'm not interested. Very simple.
And I personally believe that thoughts are material and they come true. Do you still have some dreams that you want to realize that you are dreaming?
Well, of course. My ultimate dream is to become financially independent and provide a good life for my sons, my 3 sons, and the woman in my life, my son's mother, and to continue to be healthy. I have lost, Olga, many people in my life. My mother died 2 years ago. I have lost 2 brothers and many friends. And during this pandemic, I know people who have passed. My mother's sister, who I loved very, very much, died last year. So there's a lot of loss in my life, And but this is part of life. It's part of life. So I don't allow myself to get stuck in pain and regret and suffering. I suffer for as long as I need to process and release that energy, and then I choose to celebrate life. Celebrate life. That's my choice every day.
And we have one more question. How do you balance your life between regular work, you mentioned construction business, and music?
When there's music, I do music. When there's no music, I do construction. That's it. Very simple.
All right. It's very, very quick answer, sharp and quick answer.
It is. It's very simple.
And we had a week or maybe 10 days before interview with a band leader, La Maxima 79, Fabrizio Soro, and you also traveled with this band and you had numerous concerts. So we have also a question. Tell us about your experience working with La Maxima. Some fans of La Maxima and you, they are also present here. And you were with Dislocados and El Sol, and with La Maxima and El Sol different years. So
that's right.
So
well, exciting. La Maxima is a very popular band in Europe. They have their own unique style, and they are a show band. They get on stage and they do a lot of showman stuff. My thing is more musical, but it's a nice combination when I work as a guest artist with those kinds of bands. So the few times that we have performed together, it has been very, very fun. because people love them, people love me, people they see us together, they don't know what to expect, and even I don't know what to expect. But one of the beautiful elements about being a solo artist like myself is that I get to work with Dislocados, with Maxima, with Trombonanga, with so many bands around the world, and that keeps it very interesting and very fresh for me. So I'm very lucky. I enjoy my experiences with those bands.
And we also have another question. When you on the stage playing, do you look always at the dancers?
Say it again.
When you are playing at the festivals, especially dance fest, do you look, I mean, on the dancers, because there is an exchange of energy between you and the dancers? You are the dancer. When you are playing, you are dancing on the stage. I would like to say you have this group all the time.
Oh, of course. All my music is dancer-centered, Olga. It's danceable. My music is danceable. Of course, I have the dancer in mind. And when I'm performing in front of people who are dancing, I feed off of their energy. And I believe they feed off of my energy as well. And that's a beautiful thing. The marriage between the dance community and live performance is a beautiful marriage. It's a very, very important relationship for me. Has always been and will always be.
So I would like to summarize our talk and to thank you to share these interesting and valuable stories, and to hear your advice is a great honor for me, for my team, and great pleasure for everyone who is watching us. So we are very, very happy all to see you positive, smiling, and especially healthy, most important these days. So usually I have a final question. It's about what is the happiness, the absolute happiness to you, to Jimmy Bosch?
Oh, when I wake up in the morning, Olga, and I see light come through my eyes, I'm happy because I have one more chance to play this game that we call life. So, if I want to make it more special, ultimate happiness for me today is for my children to be healthy, and for my children to smile and laugh and have food on their table, and live a life of safety and security. And at the other part of it is happiness for me is this thing right here. So this is when I'm most happy, when I'm on stage and I'm making music and I'm creating sound to share with my public. This for me is me sharing my soul, my happiness with the world. So
oh my God, I have no words actually right now.
That's happiness. That's happiness for me.
Yeah, it's probably happiness for all of us because I can't breathe. Thank you very much, Mr. Jimmy Bosch, that
gracias.
You spent this beautiful, amazing hour with us, and you played, you smiled. I'm dreaming of dancing with you when we be able to see each other. So, and I do hope that we will be able to see each other somewhere on the planet. And I hope so too. I would like to wish all possible a great success to all your future and current projects, for your family to be healthy, for your friends, family to be healthy. So best regards to New York people from all of us, from Ukraine, from all Europe. So we hope to see each other and to be traveling around and sharing our positive moments together.
You take care of yourself, Olga, and thank you for this time with me also. My pleasure.
Social Talks, Jimmy Bosch, Olga Prihodka. See you very soon. Join us and bye.